If you come across this video, you probably know what I'm going to talk about. I bet some of the videos are in your playlist to the right. Kensington, Philadelphia, the Tenderloin, San Francisco, Skid Row, Los Angeles, Vancouver, Canada's downtown east side. They're all areas that are infamous for addiction and homelessness. They're also infamous for being what some call open-air drug markets. My feelings about these videos are, well, nuanced. On one hand, they do call attention to a complex issue that affects marginalized communities. On the other hand, I kind of feel like these videos are more of an attempt to gawk or score culture war points instead of finding any real solution to these problems. Of course, I'm not going to sit here and pretend open-air markets are misunderstood or really safe. They're very dangerous places and represent a serious risk to people in active addiction. What is an open-air drug market? Basically, an open-air drug market is a catch-all term for certain areas in the US where there's a lot of drug dealing and drug use going on. They're nothing new. Every city in history has had areas that, for a variety of reasons, had a lot of drug use going on. It's a term that's a little unfair. There's no real official designation for them, obviously. Many people live and work legitimate jobs in these same areas. It's a broad brush term and one that paints anyone in these areas as either being part of the drug trade or a hardcore drug user. And in my line of work, we call this stigma. When your work involves getting people off drugs, stigma makes your job a lot harder. It brings down shame and judgment on people to the point where they'd rather hide their problems than get it treated. Plus, there's people who do great work in these places, treating wounds, doing needle exchanges, providing food and other supplies to help people. There are a lot of risk factors in these areas that can make addiction a lot more dangerous and even deadly. Violence and drug markets. The risks and dangers of drug use are widely known: overdose, health problems, financial issues, and more. But one of the dangers that for some reason doesn't come up very often is violence. Drug dealing is a dangerous market that's largely regulated by organized crime and violence. If you're looking for a fix, that violence can spill over to you. Gunfights over territories, people simply looking to rob people who are seeking drugs, or violence from people who have lost touch with reality are all dangers to anyone who lives and works around these areas. There are many more risks to be found in open-air drug markets, but a major one are tainted drugs. Fentanyl, xylazine, nitazenes, and other so-called, quote, Frankenstein opioids got their start in these markets. There is no guarantee of safety when buying drugs in the streets, and the overdoses and horrific injuries you see in these places are testament to that. Drug rehabs helps you avoid these risks. If I explained every danger of open-air drug markets, this would be a long video. Suffice it to say, they're places where addiction can get much, much worse. Which is a shame because addiction is actually treatable. I get how hopeless and impossible addiction can seem, but with a little help, anyone can build a life where they don't need to score drugs to really live life. I've seen it myself. The Edge Treatment Center provides comprehensive help for drug addiction, including medication-assisted treatment and drug replacement programs. Just reach out to us now at 844-590-0403 and we'll get a conversation going. See you next video.